Are live. Slow, methodical claps, please, Moose.
That's right.
The slow, methodical claps. Snap, Moose. So, Moose, man, listen. You've been busy, man. It's good to have you on the show, man.
Dude, there's too many things going on all at one time, man.
But
One of them
it's
being
crazy because
today.
people have been asking for you. They're like, "Where's Moose, dog?"
It's been. I wish, man. I'm telling you, I always listen to the podcast after the fact, man. But I wish that I could be here every time. It's just been very busy.
Well, it's good that you've been able to at least catch the show. You've been catching on replay.
Yep. Always. Always.
All right, good
Yep.
stuff here. We got some people here in the chat. Let's go ahead and say our hellos. Usually what we do here in the first couple of minutes. I do see Baby Yoda in the house. I see Joey, Richie, and Gellert's in the house. Good to have you guys. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for holding it down for us. I see a bunch of people here as well. I see Alternate Reality. I see the homie Mike West. I see Big Term. What else we got? We got Jason D here. We got Joe. Good to have you guys. Yes. We got the Moose in the house.
Oh damn.
All right, we got Ella Melek. Good to have you. Glad you could be here. Joshua is here as well. Richie B is in the house. Oh, my brother Santiago is here. Yes. Mark is here. Yes. Good people. All right, man. So, Moose.
Yeah.
Apple dropped gear today, man.
Yeah.
A phone, a monitor,
Oh.
an iPad,
Yep.
and a computer. A powerhouse of a computer, apparently.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack from the event because, Apple, obviously, the high-profile devices, they're fan favorites. People love them. Usually, Moose, when people buy Apple devices, Apple computers, they usually keep them a long time.
Oh yeah.
And people stick with them through their upgrades, too. So if they get like a 2017 MacBook, after a few years, they're like, oh, I really like my 2017 MacBook. It's 5 years old. Now I want to buy another one.
Right.
Right. So Apple drops one and they buy it.
Right.
And same thing with the iPhones. People, hey, I like my iPhone. I'm going to just get another one. They got the ecosystem. They got all the services wrapped up in there. Hardware, services, stores, experience, the whole shebang, right?
Right.
I really do think that Apple does a good job of bundling in everything about the consumer experience. User interface, software, services, including like music and entertainment, the whole shebang, bro. They got it all. One-stop shop. And then you go to the store, you can pick up your devices, you can get trained on devices, you can get repairs, you pick up whatever you bought, accessories, the whole thing. They it's a one-stop shop of all things Apple. I think they do a good job of that, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to, make sure that anybody that is eligible or wanting an iPhone, has an iPhone, and particularly in this case, starting today, all iPhones now are 5G. Every single one, from the base model SE all the way up to the flagship, right?
Yeah.
Pro Max.
Yeah.
And the thing that is really surprising though is a lot of people have been complaining, oh, there's no millimeter wave on an SE. But remember, the people that are going to be getting an SE, I mean, geez, the fact that we need millimeter wave on an SE is kind of ridiculous, right? It's not a powerhouse. It's not a power user type of a device, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a lot of people are using it as a 3G replacement device, right? A lot of carriers are sending out iPhone SEs, and will continue sending out iPhone SEs 5G, the 5G version, to replace all those 3G old devices. So it's very interesting, Sneedman, that a lot of people have been asking about millimeter wave. Like, where is it at? Why isn't it here?
Okay. So, yeah, man, there's a lot to unpack. We're going to cover all things cellular. I think we'll take a look at the phone from the prospect of who it's for, what type of experience one should expect, what's the fair expectations. I think that's important. It's important to frame everything properly. We shouldn't have too high of expectations for certain things. other things we should, right? So I think it's just all about fair and objective commentary. I think we could do this, Moose. I think we could offer that. I think we could describe to people who we think would probably really enjoy this. And we could probably actually describe who should probably stay away from it, honestly. It just wouldn't be for them. It's
Oh
very
yeah,
possible.
100% agree that. For example, I don't think that anybody should be purchasing an iPhone SE if you have an eligible trade-in that you can get like a flagship esque device. For example, S22 right now is free. The Pixel 6 Pro in certain combinations of promotions, even the Pixel 6 is free, right? And 6 Pro is like $1 or $2 or $3, right?
Mhm.
After the trade-in. iPhone 13, right? Free. 13 Pro, free. Multiple different things are free. I would stay away, if you are eligible for those trade-in offers. The SE. However, you're mentioning who is this phone for? And that's a really interesting take, right? Is it for post, like the poll, right? The poll. Do you want to mention the poll right now?
Yeah, we definitely should turn our attention to the poll. First, a big shout out to Mark. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate the support, Mark. Always so generous and kind. Thank you, man. And thank you for supporting the show. All right, so the poll is set up this way. You guys can get in the live chat. Go ahead and click on it. Cast your vote. We've got 55 votes as of right now. We'll probably leave the poll up as long as we're discussing this, as we go through the specs, as we go through kind of what we think are fair expectations. So the question is stated, who is the new iPhone SE for? And what I wanted to do is I wanted to just poll you guys to see, is it for everyone? Like anyone could enjoy it or use it? Is it for a certain demographic, possibly younger kids, maybe their first iPhone, maybe a high school student, maybe they're on their second iPhone, right? So like maybe I see like 7th and 8th grade, 9th grade tends to be the age group where students are getting their first smartphones. So in that instance, that's
Mm,
a possibility. Grandparents, we'll just say parents, grandparents, right? Those of the more mature crowd, as they say. And then I think developing markets. When you look at the pricing, it's
right,
more competitively priced to compete with the Android devices of the world, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
And
All right.
one of the
So
things that I can say is this, right? So I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine, and his daughters, ages 11 and 9, right? They got the iPhone SE version 2, right? Which has all LTE bands. And then I asked him, I'm like, that the iPhone 13 mini and iPhone 13 is free with a trade in. And that phone, it could be the next upgrade, the iPhone 14, iPhone 14. I don't know if the 14 mini is coming, but let's say iPhone 14, right? That's the base flagship version model, right? It would be free in all every year if this thing keeps going for the next, however long, the base model is always free because that's the cheapest entry point, right?
sure, yeah.
Um, for example, let's talk about Yasmin. Is she an iPhone SE type person, or is she going to get the iPhone 13 version or the 14 version? I think if there's a trade-in eligible, might as well get the trade-in eligible. Now, if it's full out of pocket, of course, you'd get the SE.
Yeah, I think the price point matters here, Moose.
Yeah,
Really, the carriers find a way to make stuff cheap.
yeah,
Like upfront, they make it easy. Getting the phone doesn't hurt. You put it over 24 months. Now we're seeing 30 and 36 as like the norm. So like I don't even think like financing has made expensive phones manageable. It's not that they're cheaper, they're put over more installments,
right.
So to me the pricing is a non-issue, but if somebody's buying outright, it's an attractive price point compared to, the base model flagship, which is coming in at what, Moose, $800?
That's right. $800, man.
$800. Pro models 1,000 to start. You upgrade storage, you go to the max. All these things add cost. So, you know, They're all important angles here. All right, let's
Yeah.
go ahead and Moose. You got the spec sheet. We could do a screen share possibly.
Let
See
me
if you
see.
can pull up the Apple, spec sheet of this device. What I want to do is I want to look at a couple of things. I want to look at storage. I want to look at display size,
Mhm.
any type of features, and then I want to tear apart the cellular. Because what I want to do is I want to take a look at each carrier's band support and then ask the question, which cellular network, Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Dish, we could throw that in there,
Yep.
which
Whoops,
carrier
yep.
makes the most sense for this phone? Are there any deficiencies, red flags, or concerns that we should know about before we purchase this? Because really, Moose, what this live stream is about is if somebody's going to be buying this phone, are they getting what they're expecting? That's really what I want to do with the live stream. All right. So,
I sent it on the Gmail, the link,
oh,
because
okay.
share
Great.
the thing. Yeah. But no, you're absolutely right. Dish, folks, Boost Mobile, right? A lot of the prepaid MVNOs are going to be having a field day with this phone.
Oh, totally
know?
agree, Moose.
Yeah.
Totally agree, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're going to
yeah,
have a field day with this
absolutely.
phone.
Yeah, absolutely, totally agree. I'm gonna go ahead and do a screen
Yeah.
share. Let's see if I can pull this up here. Add a source. No, it's not add a source. What is this? There it is. Share screen. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll look at all the angles that we could think of,
Yep.
and I think it should be working now. And we got the bearded dragon in the house. Peter.
Ahoy.
Ahoy,
Ahoy.
good friend. How are you, man?
How you doing?
All right. We got a super chat real quick, Pete, if you want to come in.
Yeah. Thank you, Santiago Hernandez, for your generous $20 super chat. I feel like this iPhone SE is geared toward the average consumer, regardless of age. I know of quite a few people who don't care about 5G specifics. They just want an affordable iPhone that just works. Now, Santiago, what's your definition of just works?
You know, that's one of those things, Pete, that gets thrown around with the average consumer, right?
Yeah, so to me, if the phone texts and can make phone calls, doesn't that just work?
And in the basic fundamentals, yes.
Yeah, so if it could turn on and operate on a cellular network, it works. So basically, not ZT or Huawei in the US, but
I'm not exaggerating, Pete. If I was an Android user, but I had to have an iPhone for some reason, work, like literally some people need iMessage apparently and FaceTime for certain things.
yeah,
If that's the
because
case, you come in with this phone, right?
yeah, but they require the iMessage and FaceTime because they have bias against poor people.
Well, you know what I'm saying, Pete. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
bro.
I know. I know some people are like, "Yeah, you're a green bubble."
Green bubble, exactly.
You know what? Green's a better color. Kill me.
All right, let's look at these specs. Actually, so I'm glad about the colors. They actually have a product red one. I'm glad. I like the product red color.
Yeah.
I like it. I know it's not a big deal in colors. You can buy a case and all that. I'm just saying. And big shout out to Casually Unfiltered Culvers.
They
Welcome
made
to the
it
show,
simple,
my
Doc.
friend.
They
Good
made
to
it
have you.
simple, just 3 colors, and then obviously the product red to support.
Yeah, the
their
Starlight.
initiative.
What is the Starlight Moose? Like a white color?
Yeah, it's like a whitish,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We got Midnight, which is like a space gray black or
Yeah.
whatever. All right.
And then, yeah,
You got 3 storage options, Moose.
right.
64 gig. I would highly advise you guys, do not get a 64 gig variant.
Yeah, the
And-
operating system takes up 40 of that, so might as well
How
go
much,
to the
Pete?
2. I'm kidding. The
Oh.
operating system only takes up
this is a really good
25.
question.
Oh my goodness. If it was really 40, oh my god.
Well, here's the thing. If you use it for a month, especially with Facebook, you're going to be looking at like 50 gigs with the operating system and cache taken up. So
Yeah,
somebody on the
pretty
chat mentioned Sneed, what's better, the SE or the 13 mini? And I'm always gonna go with the 13 mini.
13 mini.
Yeah.
Hey, big shout out to TK. He said he's getting one to do all his dirt.
Well, isn't that like the target demographic for the phone? The ones
Yeah,
who want
doing
the
dirt, yep.
iPhone and the ones who want to do it for dirt.
All right, so here's the thing I thought about. Whoever's buying this phone, postpaid, prepaid, younger kids, grandparents, parents, developing markets, they're coming into this probably thinking, I'm going to keep this for a while. No way you're getting a 64 gig in that case. You got to go in with a 128, and I'd probably push towards a 256. But what does that do for pricing, Moose?
Balloons it.
Yeah, man. So you're going up 2 storage options because you're going to keep it long term, maybe 3 years.
Yep.
I mean, the chipset's good. It's powerful.
Yep.
But, like, man, you're probably coming in. Isn't the base 429?
I'm looking at it right now. The base is 429. If you get the 256, it balloons it by $150.
Yeah, so that's, yep, 579 for the 256.
So I have 120 gigs of my Pixel 6 Pro. For the life of me, I cannot use more than 50 gigs of that, but I got that free photo backup stuff.
All right, kiddos. Bad news. This is the same phone that has been produced since the iPhone 6.
Yep.
We have a 4.7-inch display.
Yep.
It is Retina HD, whatever the heck that means. It's LCD.
It means it's 2K, not 4K, not HD, 2K.
Okay, it doesn't get very bright. It's at 625 nits.
Hey, that's good for battery life.
But it's an LCD, so who cares?
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not an OLED or an LED to say,
Right.
It's okay. Whatever. We know what we're getting with this phone. 326 PPI. It's not going to blow your mind in terms of the display quality.
You
But
turn it on, people notice you're a blue bubble. For some
Hey.
reason, they start liking you again.
Pete, what about the home button, dog? It's there, the fingerprint scanner.
Oh, that's sexy, man. Dude, I love physical buttons on phones.
I hear you, man. Me too. I like the haptic touch,
So, the best
A15
feature...
Bionic, Pete.
That means nothing compared to that physical home button.
I know.
You know what's interesting, though, Sneed? The iPhone 13 mini weighs less than the iPhone SE 3rd generation. And there's a comparison, by the way, that you can do. If you scroll all the way to the top, at the very, very top, if you click on iPhone, and then on the top it says compare on the middle, you can compare all of the models. And I'm comparing right now the 13 mini versus the SE versus the 13. And man, it's for $270, I get a much better phone overall.
Yeah, that's something we can address at the end, Moose, when we kind of look at the value proposition of this. A15 Bionic chip, 6-core CPU. So it's the A15. That's last year's chip or this year's chip?
No. It's this year. It's the current iPhone's chip.
Okay, well, at least you're getting that.
No. More specifically, it's the first generation M1 Mac chip.
There we go. We do have, this is nice. We do have some water resistance. IP67, up to 1 meter for 30 minutes.
Oh, after that, it will rust, right?
Yeah, after that, it's corrosion. All right, kiddos, what else we got? Oh, big shout out to TK. He said, does this shoot wide at all? If it did, it could be my video. 12 megapixel wide camera. 1.8 aperture. Digital zoom at 5x. It does bokeh.
What is bokeh?
Yeah, you know the blurry thing in the background?
So the thing I tried to disable?
Yeah. Optical image stabilization is there. It's got a flash sapphire crystal lens cover, so that should prevent scratching. Smart HDR for photos, 4th gen. auto image stabilization, so it's got electronic stabilization.
So they're copying the Pixel 1.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
they're not brand new features.
No,
Right.
those are like 6 years old, so at least
Pete,
they're including it.
tell me what you think of the video. I'll give you the video specs here. 4K at 24 FPS, 25, 30, and 60.
You got to go for that cinematic feel.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to get a Pro for that one.
All
right, 1080p. 1080p, yeah.
Cinematic is 24 FPS.
Oh, well, you got it then.
Yeah, the cinematic feel.
Okay. 1080p, 25, 30, and 60 FPS.
Wait.
720p HD video recording at 30 FPS. So if you got to make some smaller files, if you need to keep things simple, stupid, simple.
So I've seen phones where if you went down to 720p, you can get up to like 240 FPS for your video.
Well, how about this, Pete? The slow-mo, 1080p, 120 or 240. Is that good enough?
Yep.
Okay. Moose, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the video is very basic. I mean, these people are not going to be like professional photographers or trying to take like a, amazing photo. I think that this is pretty decent for, a bare minimum smartphone.
It complements your brand new Nikon perfectly.
Everybody rejoice. Touch ID is back for this generation.
So Baby Yoda said that's actually the killer feature based on what he saw.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. If you don't want that Face ID that doesn't pick up your mask, you get the fingerprint reader.
Yep.
Are you guys ready for the cellular?
Yep. This is it.
I think that's what Half the Chat's here for.
Yep.
I think you're right, Pete. All right.
Let's do some very maniacal claps, Sneed. This is it.
Right. Slow methodical.
Dude, it has a 2G. Nice.
Noise. All right, kiddos. Here is the situation for band support.
Wait, this is model A2595. What the hell is that?
That would be... Let's see what that represents. Do we get a thingy here? Do we get nothing all the way? I got to go all the way to the...
That's absolutely horrible. Who designed this website?
Oh, this is... Bro, look how far I got to go down to get to the thing.
What?
Oh, my God. I don't even know where it is anymore.
So go up a little.
All right, we out this piece. Sheesh, man. Oh, my God.
This is the Apple site. I'll pull it up and read the tiny fine print myself.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that to you guys, but let's... did I already pass it? Where is... Oh, it's right here.
Keep going.
Okay, here we go. Right here. All right, kiddos. I'll read off the bands. We'll analyze this. All right, starting with LTE.
Yeah.
You got 2, and this is North American bands. I'm sorry to everybody in the Asian markets. We just don't know your bands. All right.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So the 2 and the 4 covers PCS and AWS.
Yep.
We got the 12.
We got band 7. We got band 7.
Yep.
For the refarm of FDD, band 41, right? So that's good.
We got they're not going to be doing it to LTE, so
right.
We got 13 for Verizon, 14 for FirstNet,
12 for regular,
12 and 17, right?
Yep. Right.
All right, we have band 25, we have band 26. That's the old Sprint. We got the band 29 and band 30 for AT&T.
Yep. Big time.
We got band 66 and 71 to round things out. All right.
By the way,
and then you got all the carriers.
By the way, I want to point out the asterisk means that it supports CDMA or GSM networks. So
which is like
it's optimized for Boost Mobile.
Oh God. Oh God, Pete. All right, we do have 2G, like Pete said. It's right here.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Which is going offline this year. They can't advertise
other
that
LTE.
on the phone.
I forgot. This is important. I forgot these other LTE bands.
Yep.
Band 41 LT for any Sprint still out there. By the way, that's being decommed in like June or something.
Yeah, end of June, and they'll be putting that back on the N41.
Yep, widen the channels. And then we got band 46. That's the unlicensed 5.2.
Man, that's TDD, not FDD. Jeez.
Yeah, it's horrible, Pete. It's awful.
No
It's
wonder
so
why
bad.
I hate using it.
It's so bad. You don't even know you're connected to it. You'll get a random fast speed test, and then you take 3 steps to the left, and it's gone.
Terrible.
Sounds like AT&T and Grand Central Station.
Oh God.
Hey, we got band 48 CBRS is in tow. So Verizon, I think T-Mobile has some CBRS out there.
They have it in some markets, and they're using unlicensed in some markets as well.
Yep. Let's move over to the 5G stuff. So the big thing about this is the entry-level iPhone that also supports 5G.
Right.
All right, we got N2.
Right.
We have N7. That'll be
Well,
future-proof.
N5.
We got N5. Almost forgot about the 850 gigahertz, megahertz. We got N12.
N12, very interesting.
Got AT&T there.
Yep.
N25. That'll be well, I don't think anybody's going to be using it because I think all of it's going to N2 eventually.
T-Mobile's putting their band 25 on too, but by the way, when I get a 10 meg 25 channel, ooh, that's clean.
Yeah.
They have a ton of PCS, so they've got a lot of flexibility there.
Yep.
I don't
band
know
14.
who's got N28.
I have no idea.
Okay, that might be international.
Might
No
be
band
Canadian.
14. No N14. That's interesting, right?
Yeah, I don't see N14, so that's FirstNet moving to NR wouldn't be supported here except on the LT side.
Right.
N30 is there.
N30, very interesting.
Yeah, N30 is there. Most of the phones have had this for about a year, Moose, actually.
So that's 4
N41
bands
for
so
T-Mobile.
far for AT&T.
N41.
Yep. N41 T-Mobile.
N48, and that'll be a combination of Dish and Verizon probably to start. I think eventually T-Mobile gets there too.
Yep.
N66, all carriers.
All carriers.
N71, that'll be T-Mobile and Dish.
Yep.
N77, that's all carriers.
There we go.
Yes, there is your C-band, ladies and gentlemen.
We got C-band on deck. C-band on deck.
We got an AT&T approved C-band phone right here.
Yep, that's 6 carrier bands on NR right there for AT&T.
Chame is right. We forgot AT&T does N29, so does Dish.
Oh, yeah.
So, real quick, since you're commenting about chat, shout-outs to Michael and Luke for the $3 PayPal donation.
Oh, thanks, Michael.
Best wishes to Yasmin.
Thank you. Appreciate the support, bud.
6 spectrum bands for AT&T right there, Sneed, for NR. Sorry, 7.
Okay, and then these last two, N78, N79, those are international roaming for C-band.
Yep. However, what's the red flag here? We're missing something.
Oh, yeah. No millimeter wave, kiddos.
No millimeter wave.
Also, despite it having 6 channels for AT&T, it only does 2x2 MIMO and 5G.
It only does 2x2 MIMO.
Oh, period. Even on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Let's check this out, guys.
Man, my 8x8 MIMO on my Wi-Fi wouldn't be able to improve this.
All right, we got Bluetooth 5.0. We got Wi-Fi 6 enabled. That's good.
Not bad. That's good.
Okay, we do have 2x2 MIMO on Wi-Fi. What's the higher order MIMO on Wi-Fi?
I can get my router goes 8x8. I've seen 6E at 16x16.
Ah, man.
Yeah, this is like bottom of the road RF, and 7 says data plans require access to certain features, including 5G, LTE, voice over LTE, and Wi-Fi calling were available. So, what's the chances of an unlocked phone being whitelisted on AT&T for voice over LTE?
Well, I think we have a bigger problem here, and I want to address it. Let's cover it. They've got 2x2 MIMO on 5G and LTE and LAA. Ladies and gents, this is not going to be a phone that's going to blaze any trails.
It's there for you to turn on and make phone calls on.
You know, one more thing, Pete. No N70 for Dish, man. Ryan just mentioned it. I just thought about it.
So this is not optimized for Dish.
Well, it's just not future-proof. This is a phone essentially from 2 years ago in terms of band compatibility.
It's like my iPhone 4S.
Dang, this is crazy, man.
That
listen,
links to band 12 on T-Mobile.
Yo, Pete.
Hey, it's a 4S. That does band 12. Time hasn't changed.
Okay, so if you are in an LTE only iPhone, this is only slightly an upgrade because it has 5G bands.
Yep.
But it has I think it has lower order LTE.
It does.
I'm pretty sure that the iPhone 11 did 4x4 MIMO on LTE.
So let me tell you this. This is why I say that the iPhone 13 mini, which is the same form factor, but has a bigger display, has 2 hours more battery life, and it has the same wireless capabilities as the flagship 13 Pro Max, is the better option in the same form factor.
This is an upgrade from the previous generation SE.
Correct.
So you get it, you hold on to it for 5 years, and you use it to get your family to send you blue bubble messages.
I know exactly who this phone is for. Okay, somebody's just starting out with a phone, and it's a cheap price point. Like, dude, MVNOs are gonna have a killer day with easy. They're gonna put promos. They're gonna make it $3.99 instead of $4.29. Right? They're gonna make it $3.99.
Do that as a base offer.
Yeah, base offer, or they might even discount it to $2.99. Imagine,
man.
Yeah. Boom. They're gonna do it for $2.99 to get people. This phone is gonna drive 5G sales better than even.
Wait.
Yeah.
The base price for the 64 gigs is $430. That's a lot of money for iOS.
Yeah.
With what they're giving you.
Yep. I mean, so what, like right now, here's what I'm thinking, Moose. And Pete, let me know what you think here. A used, very lightly used, good condition iPhone 12. What do you think that's going for right now?
On Swappa, it's $350.
I would encourage someone to maybe looking for a little bit more.
Go to Swappa.
I mean, it could work.
Yep.
You know, I know a lot of people don't like buying secondhand and they have trust issues, and I get it. But if you're willing to kind of toe the water and give it a shot, the iPhone 12, you know, I mean, Pete, it's got to be under $500.
Yep. Real quick, shout out to Santiago Hernandez with another super chat. This one is at $5. And again, thank you for your generosity. It wouldn't make much sense to have band 70 when the flagship iPhones don't have it yet. Another super chat from Jason D at $2. Thank you for your generosity, saying the new SE will sell like hotcakes. Now, if it was about $2, that would sell it even better.
Yeah, man. Looking at some of these other technical specs, 50% charge in 30 minutes with a 20-watt adapter, but that's sold separately. Thanks, Apple.
Hey, Apple wants you. So basically, this is a 400. What do they sell those for? 60. This is a $470 phone because you need the adapter if you're buying it right out the gate.
Yeah, first iPhone.
Oh God!
Adapter, right?
No, the 10 stopped selling it with adapters.
Yeah, but I'm saying if this is your first iPhone ever,
Ugh.
you're there because it looks like they give you the cable still.
Yeah, so you can charge it on your,
2.5 watt brick.
$1,400 charging adapter.
Wireless charging, it's included. It's on there.
But you need to buy a Q from Apple for $80.
Yeah. All right, built-in apps. We got all that.
Look at all that bloatware. Who needs stocks?
All right, kiddos, let's finish up the cellular piece. Dual SIM. They do a nano physical SIM and they do an eSIM.
Mm-hmm.
iPhone SE not compatible with existing micro SIM cards. Anybody still got those?
No. I have all the SIM cards I have from T-Mobile, AT&T, and the last one I got from Verizon. You punch out the nano, but you also have a template for the two other sizes. Also, this is a USB-C connector to the wall point. Okay. So it's even a new generation of charger. So if you're taking this from a low-end 10,
oh wow,
you're going to need a new brick too.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good call out. I forgot to even think about that. Yeah, that's critical. That means you have to pay another $20.
No, they sell them for $40 at Apple.
Oh god,
40? I thought it was $19.99. The base 20-watt one.
Oh, I'm talking about the good power.
Oh, the really good one.
Yeah.
Also, they say they exclude it to reduce packaging, but if this is your first iPhone, you're actually using 40% more packaging to get that brick.
Yeah, because you got to do another package.
Yep.
All right, here's the phone, and it's 2014 Glory.
Hey,
here's
that
your
would have been
cable.
a great price in 2014 for what they're giving you.
Well, Pete, at the time, remember, it was $5.99, man.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy isn't it crazy that this phone, right, has seen so many iterations of the same shell? I wonder if this is the pinnacle that, like, think about it. The only two things that they changed, right, from this phone since 2016 or 2014 or whatever this thing was, first generation iPhone 6, is the CPU and the modem.
Camera.
Right? And the camera. I think the camera, yeah. But those only three things. And maybe the battery got slightly bigger.
I'd say the display probably got a little better. It's still an LCD, though.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's a downgrade. It may have gotten better internals, but now you don't have a charging brick.
And I still don't know where they're selling that, was it 2954 or whatever model?
Yeah, is that a North American model, Pete? Or is that a international model? What
it doesn't even say on the bottom, the asterisk for that one.
All right, we gotta mention
how to identify it.
I almost forgot, Pete. We have to mention this about cellular.
Yeah.
While N77 is supported, not all flavors of N77 are.
Oh, interesting.
That needs an asterisk.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're talking about the DoD spectrum is not available?
That is correct. The N77.
It's Apple. They cut out the DoD spectrum from the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi too. So
what I think happened here, Pete, is the FCC clearance predates the completion of DoD, and Apple said, "Nah, we're good."
Their customers don't need full RF capabilities.
Yeah, so guys, gals, listen. If you are, like I said, if you're a cellular snob, this is not how you're going to get your fix, but you're definitely not going to be even maximizing the mid-band.
Yeah, get a Pixel 6a if you want to do that compared to this.
Steve, man, here's the thing, though. Apple is the only OEM so far that has improved their modem through firmware and software upgrades. Because even to this day, the Pixel still does not have band 77. Still,
It does on
People are
AT&T.
saying it has it on AT&T, but not Verizon.
I have yet to see it, and I went there last night to a Band 77 site. I was testing the S22 Ultra, and the Pixel didn't turn it on.
Oh, wow.
Real quick, Santiago Hernandez with another super chat, this one at $5. Thank you again for your generosity. I don't even use the Apple chargers, cables, etc. Anchor's accessory lasts much longer for me, and they're cheaper. I get... The only time I need to buy another Anchor cable and charging brick for my Androids is when I just want to plug them into another location, but I don't want to move my bricks around.
And by the way, Sneed, I'm going to try it again tonight to connect to C-band on the Pixel, but I'm telling you, man, I was there last night. Did not connect. However, the S22 Ultra, whoa, man. Whoa. Dangerous.
All right, let me give my final thoughts on cellular, and I think this has to be said, and
yeah,
maybe I'm the elder statesman here, so I'm going to try to keep a level head on this. All right,
yeah. Let's talk about it.
The fact that it doesn't have millimeter wave is not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean,
Doc.
if you live in where I am, no millimeter wave's fine unless you're spending a lot of time in Denver.
So
wait,
that's
quick
the
question.
thing, I'm in a market that has a very healthy, robust millimeter wave build, but even my expectations for this phone still would not mandate it or make it obligated that it should have it.
Well, also they limit the Wi-Fi MIMO to 2x2. What the hell performance would you get on millimeter wave if they shoehorned it in there?
God. Wait.
Okay, so
question for you, Sneed. Question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Moose. Go ahead.
Do you think that Verizon was told in advance that this phone will not have millimeter wave? Because they're the only carrier that is pushing for every phone that they sell to have millimeter wave. You know this as facts.
You know what's interesting about this situation with Verizon here, Moose, is one would think that they would want to force the issue. We want a version of this with millimeter wave. And this is why I included the choices I did in the poll. This simply is not designed to target the high-end premium user with millimeter wave aspirations. It just is not. You know, this user, whoever's going to get this phone in all likelihood, doesn't care if it's DSS or real NR. You know, like 90% of them don't even know the difference, let alone
I don't even think they care about the 5G, to be completely honest with you.
They'll say, okay, I got a 5G phone. Great. What's it going to do different for me now? And then they're going to say it does nothing different for me. They're going to be like, whatever, you know?
Right.
So, you know, like when I think about this from the big picture, the absence of millimeter wave bars absolutely no impact on the sales of this phone, on the perceptions of this phone, on the performance of this phone overall. Like Pete's right. Look at the MIMO. Look at the Wi-Fi. I mean, the limitations there are several, but yet and still, it's still a nice package of a device based on whom it is targeting and who it's going to sell to. But listen, hey, you guys are forewarned. For those of you out there that are going to buy this, you're not getting millimeter wave support. That's all it is. It's not gonna make it a dud. It's not gonna make it DOA. It just doesn't have it.
I like Ryan's comment, Ryan Van Denberg, saying most people who would buy this don't even know what millimeter wave stands for.
He might be right.
I think he's right.
Yeah. So that being said, I do think there is one cellular disappointment here, and it's not the millimeter wave absence.
Or the N14.
I think it's that piece, and I think it's also half of the N77 piece. Okay, so why do I say that? It doesn't have 3.45 gigahertz certification. That's 40 megahertz of spectrum on AT&T. That's 40 megahertz of spectrum on Dish. And in some cases, it's 40 megahertz on T-Mobile or 20 megahertz on T-Mobile.
20.
Right. So if you're on those carriers, that means you don't have N77 on Dish. That means you have half the N77 on AT&T and some of the N77 on T-Mobile because they're mixed, right? This phone has an omission on Verizon, which is the millimeter wave. It has two omissions on AT&T, which is N14 and ends half of the N77. And then it's got issues with Dish, I suppose.
The Max,
no N70,
Sneed
no
man.
N78. But here's the thing. Again, does the person buying this phone even know what C-band is and that it exists?
The maximum, listen to me, what I'm about to say. The maximum combination that this phone can do in terms of the 2x2 MIMO restriction, right, is 100 megahertz of either N41 or N77 with Verizon, okay, and a band 2, a band 4 with T-Mobile, or with Verizon, a band 13 or a band 2 or a band 5, or even a band 6.6. But my point is that it's only going to be 2 spectrum bands for the NR, as compared to the flagship that can do 3, I think even up to 5, right? NR bands aggregated.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Shout outs to Theodore Roberts with the $5 super chat.
Teddy.
Sneed, was there a code you could dial on the iPhone dialer to enhance phone calls? What was the code to enhance coverage? I want to test it with 5G. I provided him a link with all the 20 dialing codes on iPhones. So,
yeah, that would be the first I've heard of it, Teddy, honestly.
So you got the IMEI number popping up, field mode, cold forwarding, minutes, count balance, count status.
So, of course, we know that this phone is not intended for data-hungry folks. But what I'm saying is that this phone is even limited by the capabilities of the technology of the modem. You know, actually not the modem, the antenna equipment of the phone.
Antenna equipment.
The antenna equipment. So that's what I'm saying is that this phone is not good. I mean, damn, I would have assumed that they would have been able to add a couple of antennas, man. It's not that hard to add antennas. But maybe they were...
Moose, the bill of materials.
That's right.
I mean, I remember if the numbers are still the same today as they were in 2021.
Yeah.
I remember when the bill of materials for millimeter wave was an additional $70. That would have put this phone at $499. That changes the value proposition.
You know, they should have been able to possibly even have reduced the cost by $30 more, Sneed. That's what I'm saying. You know? Yeah, I thought the base price was going to be $399.
Dude, there were rumors and speculation of $199.
$199 would be worth paying.
Bro, if it was $199, everybody would buy 3.
Hell, if it was $199, some of my decks would go blue bubble.
If it was $199, you would do it?
He would have blue bubbles.
But, I'd keep my Pixel 6 Pro as my daily driver. But,
of course, bro. Oh, yeah.
Just get the blue bubble life for the people who are racist. Hey, Dennis.
Dennis, what's up, man? I think Dennis is right. The phone is going to do just fine for a variety of people. There are a large enough group of people that like this old design. The capabilities are also fine for now. I have to agree with Dennis, man. I mean,
Yeah, I love that physical home button. I miss it on my Pixel.
here's the thing, bro. Like, this phone is coming in at $429. The step up is $799, isn't it?
Yeah, but
The
it's
iPhone
for
13.
now. Mind you, these are not including a charging brick, which you should buy from apparently Anchor. So,
I mean, the Pro's $1,000. You know, the Pro Max is $1099. You start messing with storage, stuff starts accelerating. You know.
By the way, Sneed, I was going to ask you, are we going to talk about a couple of other things that were announced today? Because I really want to get your take on this MLB partnership.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do it. Anything else from the Apple of Moose? Let's cover it.
Well, I mean, the only other thing, well, yeah, so you mean from the SE portion of the event, and then we can move to the next?
I think we're good, man. I
Okay.
mean, if anybody has any questions about the phone or any comments and we want to pull it up, we can always do that for you guys.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and close out the poll, though.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, the poll. Let's check it
All
out.
right. We got 130 votes, man.
Wow.
Yeah. We got a nice tally here. Tanner says the iPhone 13 mini is $700. All right, so that's how that's priced. Okay, so yeah, the mini would be the entry-level phone, I suppose. All right, who is the iPhone SE for? Anyone. Postpaid, prepaid, 50% of the votes.
that was
Younger
me.
kids. We got younger kids at 22%, grandparents, parents at 18%, and developing markets at 8%. I thought developing markets would have gotten some more votes, but I guess I was wrong.
You know what I was upset about, though, in regards to the event? Why didn't the green color come out on launch day? Why? Why did
Yeah,
they have to
what's
do
up
it
with
for
that,
Christmas?
man?
You know?
They did that dirty. They did us dirty,
Yeah.
man. Everybody wants the green.
I love the green. I was like, ooh, okay. I see you.
I
Now,
was a little disappointed my Pixel 6 Pro didn't have a touch of sage.
right. The Pixel 6 Pro should have green, too.
All right, we're over on Tom's Guide website here. Let's take a look at the Apple event in terms of what they dropped in the hardware. iPhone
Right.
SE3, which we just discussed. This thing called Mac Studio, and then iPad Air 5, and more.
Yep. The
How much a
iPad.
month is Mac Studio?
Hey, we got Tim Apple here. Yeah.
The iPad is really interesting because for $100 more, you get 0.1 more inch. So if you look at it like side by side between the last year's generation Pro, iPad Pro, right, and the iPad Air, for $100 more, you get a better screen, 0.1 more pixel, but it actually translates to a slightly bigger picture, right? Because it actually goes all the way to the edge. I don't know, man. I'm still deciding on what to get my goddaughter here because I want her. She's only like 1 year old, actually 1.5, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to get her an iPad, but the problem is that these iPads, man, are getting very expensive.
Yeah. Well, so let's peep this iPad. And to answer
Richard
question.
Ty Syria, would you switch
Rich.
with
Yeah.
$2 super chat? Thank you for your generosity.
Thanks,
Would
Richard.
you switch carriers for this phone? No.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I think you can actually get a higher end Apple device, for free on a switcher promo. You could probably get a 13 on a switcher deal for nothing down and trade in your old phone or something.
Well, I mean, if I'm going from, say, Boost to Metro and gave me this as a free option, that might be a reasonable option.
Yep, that's true.
Especially in the networks where they're only on T-Mobile.
All right, Pete, what do you think about the iPad Air M1 chip, 5G connectivity, supports the Magic Keyboard, coming in at $599?
Damn, that's a cheap Mac Mini. No, seriously.
It's good for $599 the base model. However,
Yeah, that's a
look at the
cheap
storage.
Mac Mini.
Look at the storage though, 64 gig.
So you got to throw in $60 a year on the iCloud. If you go with that,
There's only two options, man. 64 and 256. That's why it's like for $200 more, you have to get the 256. So it actually.
So you're coming in at $799?
$749. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, we're 150.
Hey,
sorry, 150.
Don't forget the charger brick.
I think they include them in the iPads, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
No.
They do. They do.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
In the iPad.
the
And
hell is that?
it's a USB to USB-C. So it's a USB to C to USB-C. Interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of this hour, Dental, has joined us.
So Sneed, sorry
What up,
about
Dennis.
being late.
Where the hell have you been, boy?
If you want to know the truth, I woke up early this morning. I actually fell asleep missing I was supposed to have HVAC people come over because I was having heating problems, but I literally fell asleep because I got cozy in my blankets. But so that's what happened. But yeah, TLDR. I know I'm a little late. I think the new phone's perfect. Like legit, I know for a fact.
Are you gonna buy one for RF testing?
Absolutely not. But the new phone is perfect. Like literally, I know a large group of people, Sneed, that actually prefer the old design. In fact, I used to be in that camp. Like when the first iPhone 10 came out and they did the redesign, I intentionally bought an 8 Plus because I didn't like it. That being said, I've gotten the new design and now I'm fine with it. But I know a large people that are gonna love it. And as far as iPads go for Moose, yeah, man, iPads, they're expensive, but you can still get the old refreshed one that they did. That's like $300, $329, I believe.
You have the regular iPad, yeah. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I wanted to future-proof this iPad for my goddaughter at the minimum 3 years, right? Because just like Macs, iPads last a while.
Wait. Let's do a caveat with those Macs. The higher end Macs last a while. If you buy like a low end iMac, you get choked the moment you drag it out the door.
Damn.
I mean, the iPad, like outside of the wireless connectivity piece, I would say the iPad that I'm referring to is, if you're looking just for 3 years of use, that iPad that I mentioned will probably get that, no problem. Like,
Pro?
What's up?
The Pro?
The Pro?
Or are you talking about the regular iPad, the base model?
The regular iPad, like just the generic.
Jesus. The base iPad for 256 comes out to $479 with Wi-Fi, $609 for cellular plus Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're buying for your
the goddaughter,
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it honest. I don't think you would be buying the cellular model, to be honest. Like,
No. I mean, well, that's kind of up to the parent. Do they want an additional SIM card, an additional line, tablet line?
If they're buying it,
do they want to shut the kid up in the back of the car?
Well, listen,
make a hotspot.
Well, listen, if the parent is buying the cellular model, then that means they're likely financing it, and then price doesn't matter because there's always.
Hold up. Price doesn't matter.
let me talk.
Those hotspots cause accidents. You gotta look at your phone.
Let me talk for a second, Moose. I promise I'll let you go. What I'm trying to say is that if a person's buying that iPad through a carrier, the reason why price likely won't matter is because that means it's probably going to have a promotion tied with it, and that it's going to be broken up into bite-sized pieces. The parent isn't going to look at the end cost. They're just going to look at what it adds to their monthly bill.
Sure.
But so I have to pay for full disclosure. I'm going to be paying the cellular connectivity for the goddaughter, right? Because as the de facto godfather, just like Don Corleone, I'm going to be paying for the service and for the iPad cost. But here's the difference. We don't know the launch promos for any of the carriers yet for the iPad, right? Pre-order promos, like, usually they do 200 off or 150 off or sometimes even 350 off of the iPad if you do it in installment. But those haven't been announced yet, number one. Number two, it is going to be expensive because if you do carrier financing on a $799 device, it's still going to be around $25, right?
Oh yeah. So
$25 plus $15 for the thing. Dude, now we're talking about $40 just for a device that may or may not ever leave the house. We don't know.
Well, I'll just say this. The generic base iPad, because I just wanted to quickly take a peek, is like $500 or it's actually $460, which breaks down into about $6.25 a month to finance over 24 months. And then it's even less than that over the course of 36 months, which is what a lot of carriers have been going for. And if that's the option that parents are buying, they're going to look at that and be like, like, as long as it's not like stupid. Like, I know some carriers have like a tablet line access charge. Xfinity comes to mind, which would change the equation a little bit. But like, it's not, I feel like it's not enough for parents to really care when it's broken down into that finance price, if you get what I'm saying. Because most of the time anyway, too, it's probably just going to be sharing whatever data plan they have anyway. Like, what is AT&T? They just charge you an extra line. The tablet line's like, what, $20?
$20. 10, 15. It's not that bad. Yeah.
Man, yeah, my tablet's -5.
Negative.
Like, they're paying Pete to have a tablet, dog.
Like, trust me when I say, as well, the vast majority of parents that are buying tablets for their children that are like, say, sub 10 years old, they're not buying the cellular models. Like, the ones that are getting the cellular models, if they get the cellular models, are for like the kid that's going to use it as like their school laptop type of deal, and that's like the college kid maybe. But
how are you going to do PowerPoint on a tablet when you need to type though?
They get that little attachment. Dude, listen, I've seen a lot of college kids. They had like iPad Pros, but what I was also going to say was for the college.
I don't get these kids, man.
Hey, listen, what I was going to say was, though, for the college kid demographic, going back to deals and things like that, there's usually student deals every single year on the tablets that help bring the cost of the iPads down. And again, financing.
And student loan debt.
Pete, we got a super chat, dog.
Yeah, shout outs to EM Tech with a $2 super chat. Thank you, sir, for your generosity. Says, quote the show a little late. What up, y'all? That's okay if you're curious, replay crew. We're talking about the Apple event.
Yep.
And big shout out to Ram. Does a 6-year-old need PowerPoint? Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah. So, Sneed, I'm looking at that Apple M1 Ultra chip. I think I might be able to get a Threadripper to outperform that.
Oh, no kidding.
Well,
yeah.
Pete, while traditional Threadripper is overall a better platform for various reasons, I think that there is some merit to the new M1 Ultra chip. I mean, there's one thing that it's doing or likely going to be doing that a Threadripper does not, and that just comes down to power efficiency and what it can be crammed into. Like, I am willing to...
I don't see your pro here.
What I'm saying is that I'm willing to bet good money that M1 Ultra chip ends up making its way into other form factors.
An iPhone?
No, I was thinking more like the next iteration of MacBooks, which can't be done with like a Threadripper class CPU.
Oh, come on. People like burning up their laps on their laptop thing.
See,
Hey,
so... Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you guys want to cover any of these last couple of hardware items?
Yeah.
Studio display is nice.
The display. Oh, my God. Woo! God damn. First of all, did you see the video? Yeah, the slow clap. Hold on.
Slow methodical clap.
Look, the way that they showed off the display was literally like as if it's a movie. Like, it was like unbelievable spatial audio, blah, 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 5K.
They acted like it was brought to us by the pharaohs of old, bro.
Exactly. I was like, dude, this is insane. First of all, it was insane. Secondly, I'll tell you this right now. Exactly. It was stupid. I was like, what the? It's just a damn monitor. But I'll tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen.
But it's Craig Federighi's
For $15.99, you can get a better monitor. It's called the Alienware Qd Oled. Okay, that's launching at the end of this month, and it's actually new technology from Samsung Display. Okay,
So you ain't feeling this.
sold by Dell.
it's the best display I've ever seen so far on paper. On paper, because it's a QD. It's quantum .oled. It's
Top of the
amazing.
line, Moose. Top shelf.
It's the next generation from Alienware. That's what they have so far. However, Sony is coming out with the A95K, right? 55 or 65 inch TV size. That is also using the QD OLED technology. And Samsung is also going to be coming out with the QD OLED TV as well. So that is the next generation if you're talking about display technology. But I will say, this display has everything you need. Speakers, 5K, Thunderbolt or USB-C. It has everything.
So, Moose, when you talk about best display, it depends on the use case. Like these displays, like with the new tech that you're talking about, I think it does have a use case for people that do like legit like professional graphic design, right? Yeah. But here's
Moose's monitor is better if they can do the color range.
Wait, but here's my big but to this. But you have to remember one really important thing. The people that end up doing that type of work, typically, from my experience, end up using Apple products. And because they're using Apple products, they likely are going to want a display that has support for like the Thunderbolt 4 Connect to actually do the output. And unless that display that you're referring to has that type of connect, then it won't be the best display. I bring this up as someone that has a MacBook Pro and had to aggressively look for a display to use for myself using the Thunderbolt Connect. And surprisingly enough, there's a good amount of them out there that don't support that feature set. Or if they do support that feature set, they don't support it where it actually can charge over Thunderbolt while you're connected to said display, which this one will do. Also worth pointing out too that QLED tech that you're talking about, I've seen it in person. Although it's a new tech, it's not actually, in my opinion, that groundbreaking. Like, by this I mean this: OLED, right? Been around for quite some time, right?
Right.
I would still argue that piece of technology is actually superior to the micro QLED that you're talking about. I still think that looks fine. Like, in fact, I'd even argue it looks better because the blacks look better.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's when it comes to display technologies, that's why we have various different types of folks, right? We have Samsung people for the TVs. We have LG people for the standard base OLED panel, and then we have the Sony people, right? We also have.
I'm using an LG monitor right now.
Oh no, I know the LG monitor for gaming is unbelievable. But what I'm saying is that now Apple is getting into that realm, right? That $15.99 price point, $12.99 price point. I mean, damn, even Gigabyte Aorus took the damn LG panel OLED and made it into a monitor. It was amazing. But I've been researching this for the past like 4 months, right? Because I just built, and I showed Sneed, I just built a monster of a computer, and I'm missing a monitor because I knew that this year, there's going to be the C2 from LG, right? The 42-inch C2 that's going to be hot. Then you have the A95K, also 42-inch from Sony, same OLED panel, just a different chipset, right? And it's Sony, that display technology. And then you have now this. This is a potential option as well, right?
Hey, Moose, did Sony fix the issue with their Bravias where the pixels get burned out prematurely?
I've been using my A90J 65-inch. I haven't heard it. I haven't seen any dead pixels yet, but I also bought
the same TV.
Yeah, the A9J, man, is a good one. Or sorry, the A9G has a good one. But I'm telling you, man, like This display from Apple is so expensive for what it is, but it's so nice. It's like
Well,
the
it has
quality
the
of
Apple
quality.
logo on it. What do you
Exactly.
expect?
It's the quality of the quality.
So, on a topic of displays, Moose, real fun fact, real fast. Do you want to guess what kind of monitor I'm personally using? What kind of display tech?
Which one do you have right now?
It's an Asus gaming monitor. It's high refresh
Oh,
rate.
damn. Is it Tough Gaming, the 28-inch or the 34-inch one?
It's 25 inch. It's 240 hertz.
Oh, man. Is it 4K or is it just 1440?
1080p.
Oh, dude. So you have the 2 generations ago then, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's a TN panel is why I was asking, since you're talking about display techs. I'm using a TN panel, which is even more outdated. But look, remember how I said depends on use case?
Yeah.
TN, you can't get lower latency than TN. Like,
that's right.
You want 1 millisecond response time, you go TN. It might not be the best color, like from like an angle type of thing, but it looks like good enough. I do have a 1440 display behind me, but I don't have anything 4K because honestly, there's not a computer out there that you can build that can support high refresh gaming at 4K.
Hey, gents. We got to cut this short. It looks like the Cha-Cha, Carlos, is going live tonight. I want to respect him. Yes, that's right.
Sure.
Methodical clap. I want to respect him, give him the opportunity to launch his live stream, and then we can head over there, support him, and see what he's got to offer tonight with his live stream. But
so how much time do we got left? We still have a couple things to talk about.
Sure. And then, of course, we got Friday, too, so we'll wrap up whatever happens the rest of the week.
Wait, today's not Friday?
I think it's Tuesday, right?
Damn.
Today is Tuesday.
I know, right? Big shout out to Dennis. Thanks for coming through. The Bearded Dragon Pete. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Dennis is bestphoneplans.net, the website, the podcast, the show on YouTube. He does the show with
Stetson Doggett.
Yep, and he's always on our show here, so we're glad to have him, and thanks for supporting us, Dennis, and being a part of the community and the nation and all that you do. Thanks for coming by, Moose. Thanks for coming through and always supporting and being a part of the show. We're trying to get Monday Madness with Moose back going, but he's been busy. We'll see if we can get him back soon.
Hey, if we do it this Monday, we definitely got to do a podcast because that is turning into a new decade.
Yep.
3-0 on Monday. 3-0 on Monday.
Wait, what's 3-0?
We got to get a pie. We got to get rhubarb. We got to get the apple. We got to get the pumpkin. We got to get the cream pie. We got to get the cream pie. Woo! You know what I'm saying, dog?
Wait, what's Monday? Hold up. What's Monday?
Monday is Pie Day. It is also, Einstein's birthday, and it just so happens to be the Moose's birthday as well.
That's
so
right,
that's
the
why
original.
we got to get the pies, the cream pie and everything.
Hey, listen, I don't do it, but for this one, I will. The slow, methodical clap for Moose. We're going to do it right here.
Also, real quick, I just want to address one question. It was from Chime. He said, can I compare the M1 Ultra to the Intel i9 12900KF and AMD Ryzen 9 5900X?
I love that AMD chip.
Honestly, the TLER version is along these lines. Those desktop class chipsets that you mentioned from Intel and AMD respectively, they're great chipsets. And I would argue AMD is the edge overall from a platform standpoint.
Yep.
But that being said, from a technology aspect of things, like if we're looking at things that have a lot of life to them, I think what Apple is doing is smart. I think that inevitably ARM as a technology makes more sense in the long term from like a CPU design standpoint because it's the only real way to get meaningful amounts of power without sacrificing too much on the side of power efficiency to make its way into smaller like design structures outside of like full-blown desktop towers with like liquid cooling.
Dennis, what's wrong with my full-blown desktop tower with liquid cooling?
There's nothing wrong with it.
We're literally trying to close out the show, and you're about to give this essay? Really?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to give the show. Okay, we can end it. We'll go on.
We'll talk about it at Cha-Cha's. We'll talk about it at Cha-Cha's because I have a lot to talk about here.
All right, because I just want to give him the due respect. I don't want to cut him off. You know what I mean? That's all. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Moose. Thanks, guys. All the people who donated tonight through Super Chats and PayPals. all the new patrons. Thank you guys for supporting us there. Hashtag Mod Squad, hashtag Ravioli Gang, hashtag BBW, hashtag Help the Bear, Save the Bear, whichever one you like. And hashtag
We'll see you at Cha-Cha's.
hashtag 2Live Crew, hashtag Replay Crew. You guys are the best. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. We out this piece. Peace.